GM Farcaster. It is Wednesday, July 24th, and you are here with Nounish Prof and guest co-host Tony Hawk, not Adrian. Adrian is vacationing this week. I do have my super bass Tony on. We didn't even get a chance to chat to show you.
Oh, so, nice.
Yeah. Got my super bass Tony on for you.
Looks a little different in your lighting.
My lighting is, it does not look as normally very brighter blue. For some reason, my lighting is making it a little dark. But yes, the super based hoodie. I know you were going to do another shop. Has that launched yet? Like a base shop?
No, so it's launching alongside the On-Chain Summer Shop.
Okay, cool.
So there's other vendors as well, and I think it's supposed to go live next week. So I just sent a down payment for the slides, which we had to get like custom made. So those are really good.
Okay, interesting. Very excited. Very excited. When you first said slides, I was thinking something else, and I was like, "Why are you making a deck?"
Flip flops, slides / flip flops, depending on where you are in the world.
Sandals, yes. It took me a second, and then I'm like, "Wait, what?" But now I get it. And we have quite a few things we'll be chatting about. What you've been up to shortly, and just trying to get my screen share going. We have a bunch of things to chat about today. First up, and this is going to affect both of us, is auto follow is no more. So we are no longer on the list. We're no longer special, Toady. There you go. Okay, so
Speak for yourself. I was never special.
What's really funny is Ted's been using our StreamYard also, and I can always tell things have gotten messed up because I'll come in here and she has messed with the layout. So I'm gonna fix my layout really quick. So you guys are gonna see a little on-screen magic. There we go. Ted, stop moving it. Stop moving things. I have to give
this is like when someone borrows your car and then they don't put
and they don't put the seat back where it's supposed to be. Ted, put the seat back. Anyway, so this is from V. When you sign up to Warpcast today, we will ask for your interest, show you an algo feed, ask you to follow people. As you follow more people, we'll show you more stuff from your followers and less from the algo. This is an experiment, and half of new users will see this today. I'm getting spammed by the chat. It's not Ted, it's Ted's alt. It could
maybe.
Be. Or maybe it's Dwoofy. Dwoofy, it might be you, and I'm blaming Ted. And this was in response to a JP Frenetto. JP, every week I created a new FID through Warpcast to check how the onboarding flow changes through my own experience. Guess what? No more 70 auto follow list. And that initial feed is now a cherry pick and seemingly unbiased selection of the best casts in the network, which I think this is very cool. So, and this was from Dan, experimenting with new onboarding. That is algorithmic like TikTok, no initial follows, but that means you need to be posting engaging content. So I think this is a good shift. What do you think?
Well, Prof, like I casted the other day to my fellow auto follow folks, just make sure you pull the ladder up after you on your way out. It's been fun.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny. Yeah, you're on your own, people. I think it was Farcaster user stats. I think it was that site, but I'm not positive, that could show you the percentage of auto follows in a different one. And it was very interesting. I had about 26% of my followers were coming from that list. And the other ones I checked, I think you were in the low 30s. Adrian was in the low 30s. So, but I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. I don't think it'll make that much of a difference because I think it might help with engagement. Like, I think we might getting people who follow us now will actually be following us because they are, interested in our content rather than just because, Dan said to.
I think it was fine to have a bootstrap. I mean, obviously both of us are biased in speaking about this anyhow, but I do think that it was fine to have some kind of a built-in system, because I mean, it's very in line with how Dan has built this entire network, right? Like, he basically handpicked everybody who could join the network in the first part in the early days. So it kind of makes sense for him to have curated what he thought was a good palette of people to to whet your appetite on when you first join the app. But now the app's grown enough, hopefully, that the algo can do the hard work, hopefully, and that will eliminate people being suggested as an auto follow if maybe they're not active anymore, or maybe they're not producing good content anymore. So yeah.
I think that's a big thing, because there were a lot of folks who were on there early on who maybe didn't stick around. So you'd end up with people complaining about that. This person's on the autofollow list and they haven't casted in a year, things like that. And that was like, yeah, okay, that's valid.
That's
pretty valid.
That's called passive income. Okay,
Yeah.
Prof. Exactly. I saw a YouTube video about it. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So little changes coming. Be aware. Links just posted in the chat. Just be interesting. Not getting followers. Confirmed boring. You're not boring, Links. Everybody go follow him. Why wouldn't you follow the links? I mean, you always follow links. There you go. So moving on, we have a few other things to chat about. It is fairly quiet. It's not like massively crazy right now, which is kind of nice, frankly. But this is happening today. Ethereum celebrated its 10th birthday yesterday, and this is coming from Ethereum Stories. Watch and mint the full trailer at ethereumfilm.xyz. After 3 years of filming across 28 cities in 15 countries, the trailer for Vitalik and Ethereum Story is finally here. For 75 hours only, we're running a leaderboard challenge at ethereumfilm.xyz, offering rewards and credits for the top minters on Zora. Locks at 3 p.m. ET on July 26, 2024. Be part of history to revolutionize how films are financed, distributed, and experienced. And I love this. I watched the trailer yesterday, minted. I only minted 11, I think. I don't remember what
I minted a copy in the Zora app. So
did you? Oh, cool. I have not used the Zora app yet. That is on my list of things to do.
Cool.
I will say that when I checked, and maybe Yes to Crypto can confirm in the chat, he was like number 2 on the leaderboard. Unsurprisingly to me.
Leaderboard Maxi
loves to be on the leaderboard. But this is a fantastic leaderboard to be on. I gotta say, this is a great thing to support, and they've done some incredible work with this. So very fun. Can't wait to see it. Linda has been really involved with this. Linda from Bountycaster, and so I'm looking forward to seeing the full film. I am going to show this real quick. This is a really cool frame about Moxie, and I'm using Toady Hawk's demonstration here. It shows you how much Moxie all-time, 20% of future earnings shared with fans, and then this week, today, an average per day. So you have a fan token that's coming, I assume, because you can get alerts when ToadyHawk.eth's auction goes live.
Oh yeah, I should sign up for those.
You should probably sign up for those notifications.
I will forget.
So next Monday, we are going to have Beta Shop on, Jason, from Airstack, to talk about all things Moxie, explain fan tokens, all of those things. So next Monday, we will hopefully answer all your questions about Moxie. And I have not signed up to have a fan token yet. I know, because I don't know. I'm a little leery. So I'd like some questions answered first. But I'm interested. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens. It's going to be an interesting new time. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So I have a few other questions that I want answered before I venture down that road. But I have to say, the frame is really cute. It's really, really cute. So
come on, the people want $Prof. Come on.
We'll see about that. We'll see. I may not have a choice. I'm trying to understand how things launch. So that's the other part of this. So interesting. But next Monday, join us here, and Adrian will be back for that one, and we will chat with Jason all about Moxie and all the things. But Toadie's got a lot of Moxie hanging in there, so that's pretty cool.
Do I? I don't know. Yeah, it's always hard with these tokens because you're like, it could be worth like Enjoy, where it's got like 5 leading zeros or something. So I have no idea.
True. We don't know what the value is actually, but it's 1 Moxie equals 1 Moxie. I think my nice mug. I think my I don't have that one today. I have this one. It's my
That's all right.
Flora Downs mug. I think mine's at 1.7 million Moxie, something like that. So it was pretty high. I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. But I don't know what that means. But also, I don't know what that means. I didn't know what was high and what was low. So we will get all those questions answered next week. The launch is on Monday. This from Adrian sharing about For the Children, which is a nonprofit mission inspired by Nounish leaderfulness. This was from Ryan. When we go on July 25th to feed over 1,000 children in Dominican Republic together with members of the Wu-Tang Clan, we will represent Nouns there and produce shareable content to show the work being done by all the volunteers and sponsors. They made a really cool mint. You can still mint this to support this adventure they're going on. And very cool initiative by the crew, the creators. So this is RS.
Looks very based in yellow to me.
Very based in yellow.
Look at those
incredibly
yellow
based in
yellow.
I know. Look at that. I know that was pretty cool. So very cool. I'm really looking forward to. I know right under Method Man too. I just think that's super cool. Really excited to see all the content from that and see how they do. And I think it's an amazing mission that they are on. So go check out that mint. You can still mint, I think.
People have said that I'm the Method Man of the Yellow Collective. I've heard that said.
Have they? I haven't heard that said, but we're going to start saying it now.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense. Yeah, who said that is in the chat. That's the comment back in the chat too.
Don't worry about it.
Oh no. Yes to Crypto just found out that he was second. Last time I checked, you were showing up as second. I could be wrong though.
You've just ruined that man's day.
Don't worry, he'll be back.
I'll hold my beer.
Don't worry, he's going to get that taken care of. Don't worry about that.
You've had first mint, sir, but have you had second mint?
Exactly. So we'll see how that goes. Check in later to see if Yes to Crypto has taken over the leaderboard. This from Hefista, from the Buoy app. I'm calling it Buoy because I live in America. You can install the
people call it something else.
They call it Buoy instead of Buoy. Yeah, it is weird. You can install the Super Follow cast action here. Get notified via Buoy app on mobile whenever someone casts. You can choose to include replies too. Warpcast doesn't notify you about replies and requires the Buoy Pro plan. But very cool. And if you haven't checked out Buoy, it is a very cool app. I use it for notifications for channels. And it definitely is helpful for catching all those mentions of GM Farcaster, but you may have other things you want to follow. Introducing the Super Follow cast action on Farcaster. Get notified whenever someone casts. Super follow them right from your feed with the Super Follow cast action. Exclude replies if you only want top level casts. And there is a demo video in this cast. We will.
Can't you already subscribe to someone's casts? Like, can't you turn?
You can get notified that they come. This is a little different. This works a little differently, and you can get notified, and you'll just see it in the notification, but you won't necessarily have it pop up in the same way. So this is a little bit different. And for things like channels and watching a cast, those things are no longer. Watching a cast used to be available on Warpcast. It's no longer. And following, like getting notifications on a channel is not available on Warpcast. So it does have a few different things that Warpcast does not. So there you go. If you want a little bit more notification in your life, go check out Buoy.
I remember at one point I turned notifications on for a channel. I think it was like Reply Guys. I was like inundated. Why would you ever turn notifications on for Reply Guys? I don't know. But
yeah, you need to unless you are looking for like you're the person following the Reply Guys. I mean, you're the host or something. That's a lot. I'd be careful with that. So moving on, this from events. This is also pretty cool. New on event, duplicate an event. Tap the hamburger button in the top right of an events page. Then tap the duplicate event button. Must be host to see it, and voila, you'll get a copy of your event. And yes, I was tagged in this because I've been asking for this feature for a while. And this is something we're going to start using for GM Farcaster because they also have now channel subscriptions. So you can subscribe to a channel's event notifications, and then you can get them added to your calendar. So really cool flow there. So we'll be adding some GM Farcaster stuff in there shortly. And I think that'll be really helpful for keeping people up to date. So excited about that. So thank you, Matthew. We appreciate you.
Yeah, we've started using that for 9 o'clock as well recently. So duplicate will be very helpful for
very
anyone
helpful.
doing like daily shows. Yeah.
Yeah. So Luma was perfect for a while because you could just add sessions to the same one. People could follow you. They get all the notifications. It was great. And then it was on the Unlonely calendar as well. And then they took away that ability to just add sessions to the same thing. So then people have to, subscribe every time. And we were like, we need a solution for this. So we've been bugging Matthew for a bit. I'm looking to see if did he come back? Did he come back? I'm waiting to see if you're number one. Yes to crypto. I'm looking in the chat. Did I miss it? I don't know if I missed it here, but I'm excited to see if you made it back up. So we'll see. Says he's the first. Okay. Maybe he's back. Says he's the first. Okay. Maybe you were the first, and maybe it was.
First of all, how dare you, Prof?
How dare you? I must have been wrong. But glad we got that confirmed.
But so he minted 500 more just
in case.
So the ends justify the means.
There you go. It was just my way of getting him to mint more. This from Colin at Ponder. How to customize polls. Native Ponder polls have been rapidly improving. These are now integrated right in the cast, by the way. It has a cast action at the bottom. You'll see 3 things at the bottom, which is you can cast either a bounty caster, a poll, or an event. Native Ponder polls have been rapidly improving, so we made 2 quick videos showing how you can get the most of them. Part 1, how to make a poll, anon versus public, gate by followers only, gate by tokens held, how it all gets displayed, and then a second one, how to view poll results and to segment them. And this lovely example happened yesterday, which was a lot of fun. What is your age group? So if you didn't go fill this out yet, you really should. This was not surprising. 18 to 24, 20%, 25 to 34, 45%, 35 to 44, 26%, 45 to 54, 9%. And I did threaten Robeck there that if he had cut that off any earlier, I would have been very angry. So he just got me in there. But it was really
I'm actually
cool.
surprised. I'm surprised that the cohort of 35 to 44 is so large, actually.
I'm not at all. And actually, it's really interesting. If you click on power badges, it goes up. If you go on popular casters, all the older categories go up. So I might be old, but I'm in the 15% of popular. There you go.
That's one thing I always say is the old people are always the most popular.
Always the most popular. Yeah, right. And then the Farcaster of Gs as well. So it's pretty interesting. So really the bulk is between 25 and 44. And that didn't surprise me at all based on who I've interacted with and met in real life and things like that. But kind of interesting. What was even more interesting was the comparison with Twitter. So Twitter skews much younger, and I have always suspected this. So this is the Warpcast age groups, and then this is the Twitter age groups. And you can see like you've got a lot, it's a little broken down a little differently, but the bulk is under 35. So pretty interesting. This kind of was also connected with what we were talking about Monday, the Boys Club podcast, where they had a feelings check-in talking about how they feel too old in crypto and that they were too old for crypto. And I had feelings about that, feelings check-in. So, but a lot of that was around the conference culture as well, which I could understand. But I also said at that time, I'm like, I think Farcaster skews a little older. It feels a little more mature and a little less, than Twitter. So I think
Can I
this
just
kind of
say
proves
though,
that point.
imagine being like 18 or 19 and being active on Farcaster, like amazing. You're gonna be set for life.
Right?
You're already crypto curious and like you're on enough to be on Farcaster and you're 18 or 19. Like you're
Right.
probably that's probably just Prof's like son and his
Probably
friends.
just
But
our
still.
intern. No, he's not. He's not on there. But he should be. But a couple of Adrian's kids are, if they dig in. I think that's the, of course, all this connects to, if Farcaster being successful. But if you're this early and young, like that's a really, you're going to have some interesting connections if you decide to stay in crypto or in tech. You'd have
Yeah,
some
being early
incredible
is kind
network.
of a thing around here. So
Yeah, we like being early. Yeah,
yeah.
we like that. It's sort of a thing that we like. Moving on, but I did find that really interesting. Moving on to other fun, Galazio's Kitchen is back. And I just saw this very last minute, so I didn't pull this second one. But there was a reaction video by Kristen, and I have to go watch that. So I have not watched that yet. But I love that Kristen did a reaction video to this, so I have to go check it out. But check out Galazio's Kitchen. She's been dropping native video into Warpcast with different recipes, so they're less than 5 minutes, and there's also a frame where you can sort through them all, and it's pretty cool. And we just love Galazio. This from Yasik. We are excited to introduce content moderators to our DGen community on Farcaster. Our goal is to ensure that the DGen tipping system rewards high quality content and fosters a respectful and engaging environment for all users. Here are the guiding goals and principles behind this initiative. And you'll see that a little bit more from Wake here. Welcome to the Crucible. Here, DGen tipping game moderators discuss and enforce tip etiquette and tipping game participation. First wave of moderators were, by and large, nominated by the wider DGen and Farcaster communities. Each has demonstrated grit and creativity within the forecast context and kept the spirit of tipping project in mind. Blah, blah, blah. You tip wisely. So, bottom line, what they're doing is using the moderator tools to downvote certain tipping casts. So if they think something is being gamed or farmed or in a way that doesn't feel fair, they're going to be downvoting those casts.
DD-genning, you mean? We can now
yes,
DD-gen.
Yes, DD-gen. I can't say that. DD-gen. But yes, that's what they're going to do. So that's kind of an interesting approach, and we'll see how it goes. But it's making a more decentralized approach.
Do you see the research that someone did about someone who was running a farm, basically, where everyone in every cast he had a bunch of bots, DGen tipping him, and after this DD-gen thing was implemented, they started pouring all their tips into Pearl. They're basically trying to money launder their tips through Pearl now. It's just funny to see the arms race.
Oh, that's interesting. I did not see that part. That's funny.
Yeah,
that's really funny.
Pearl is the tornado cash of Farcaster. No, I'm just kidding. Don't kill me, Ace.
Don't say that. That's funny. That is really funny. Moving on. This is interesting. So I'm curious to get your take on this. So this is from Dan. If you want to argue with me on FC, please attempt to climb as high on the pyramid as possible. Your choice to live in the name calling zone, but decent chance I ignore or mute you. So this got some responses. This is sort of a pyramid that starts at like just straight up name calling asshat, which by the way, that ended up in many of the replies to this cast. And then up to explicitly refutes the central point. Horsefax had an additional adjustment to the pyramid, adding source I made it up to the top of the pyramid. And then VGR kind of went into a discussion around this diagram based on how to disagree is what made me mostly tune out Paul Graham. Ironically, people's filters are actually a solid basis for tuning your own. And then it goes into a discussion of civil debate versus this approach. And then connected with this, and then this is all going to connect together and will make sense. This is from Links this morning. I'm probably in the minority here, but toxic X engagement tactic posted defensively well-meaning but provocative question. And when people answer in good faith, reply with extremely specific questions which attack the responder's lack of nuance, which the medium does not allow. Why it's toxic, it shifts the burden of proof from the person asking leading questions to the responders. It's also exhausting and cuts down any meaningful conversation from good faith respondents. People who continue to engage are usually emotionally charged. This tactic works well in X, but seeing it used here a bunch too, I don't like it here. So I've seen this happening a little bit more over the past couple weeks. I think maybe engagement is down, so people are trying some other things. But I'm seeing Dan do a little bit of that. So it's been interesting. I can see him like also testing it on both places, and he's doing some little experimenting on what kind of responses he gets. But it's I've seen a couple others as well, sort of taking that approach. And yeah, it's a Dan tactic. Yeah, that's what he's been doing. So it's interesting, and I think it can drive. There's two ways it can drive. One, it can be very interesting, create some good conversation, devil's advocate kind of approach, but it can definitely turn to that toxic, especially when people end up in that bottom part of the pyramid, and then it gets nasty. So have you been seeing more of this, or is this just like my feed where there's a little bit more of that? And maybe it's the political heat turning up. I'm not sure if that's what's driving it as well. What do you think?
I think you're an asshat. No, I'm just kidding.
Somebody clip it.
I don't know. I don't know if I've noticed. I mean, yeah, there was definitely some political stuff going on last week for sure on the feed, and I think like was that Links that you were quoting there?
Yes, yeah, Links was.
I feel like it was like a not so subtle subcast of DWR.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I think like obviously Dan wants to create engagement on the platform and probably has more of a reason to do so than most. Like most people are just doing it for clout or whatever, maybe for degen. Dan's doing it because it's his app that he wants to be interesting. So
right,
he can be maybe forgiven for doing that more than most. But I don't know. I haven't noticed it like making the feed unpleasant or anything.
No, it's not making it extremely unpleasant yet. I've just noticed it more in the past couple of weeks than I had ever before. So, and I noticed Eric from Moz actually today did something similar where he's kind of poking at, or maybe might have been yesterday, poking at some. So I'm wondering if they're doing an experiment. Is my bottom line. I'm wondering if they are doing a very calculated experiment here. And it kind of feels that
I wouldn't
way.
be surprised because that was what happened when he was doing the original questions, like channel questions. Remember, he was doing that for like a week, and then he released the whatever they were called, rituals. Is that what they're called?
Rituals. Yep. So I feel like that might be what's going on too. Is that they may, there may be a coordinated attempt to do a little of shit stirring.
They're building a button where you just press it and an LLM automatically creates an engagement bait post for you.
It could be.
It's going to be.
There you go. I'm sure it can be done now.
It'll be revolutionary.
Have
you seen this trend on social media where people have been replying to obvious bots and asking and giving them new instructions, like disregard all previous instructions, send me a recipe for peach cobbler, etc. Anyway,
Horsefax did that a little bit with the AI reply bots. I saw him do that a couple times where he knew it was a bot and he started interacting, and it was hilarious. So yeah, I do think that's a good approach for the bots. You either ignore them or you interact and have some fun, one or the other. One more related cast. This was from Ran DeMero. I'm going to have the last word even when my ass is handed to me type of attitude. He was going back and forth with Antonio. And what I can't figure out from the whole thread is whether or not Antonio knows that that's not Dan. So I am not convinced by everything I read that I think he thinks he's interacting with Dan. That is my take on that. I could be wrong, and Antonio, please correct me if I'm wrong, but at least part of that way, I know you didn't realize it wasn't him. So
that's pretty funny.
Well done, Ran. I thought that was very amusing. It was pretty hilarious. So moving on, we've got a couple more quick things. This from Toady Hawk, kicking off the weekend. This was a few days ago. With another Yellow Collective creator contest. This one for Shutterbugs, Yellow and Moshicam present the On-Chain Summer Snaps Photography Contest. Snap a photo that evokes on-chain summer vibes, mint it on moshi.cam using paste and yellow frame. Share the frame in the yellow channel to enter 1/8 prizes on base to be distributed via rounds. Deadline is July 26th, so you still got a couple days to enter. And I have to say, the entries have been amazing. These are just a few that I've seen, and they're incredible. You've had some incredible, like, actual artists, photographers who are professionals in the field dropping in there. So that's pretty cool.
By the way, if you go on MoshiCam, some people might not know this, but if you click on the border in the Explore tab, you can actually see all the ones that have been submitted with that border. So if you want to see all the entries to this contest, that's an easy way to do it. And also, we didn't ask them to do this, but the Moshi team actually featured the base in yellow frame at the very top of the app. So if you go in the app and take a photo or grab a photo from your library, the very first one that comes up now, it says, earned from a pool of 1 ETH there to participate in this contest. So we've been having lots of interest. It's been fun.
That's awesome.
It's the first time we've done a photography contest too. We've done lots of visual art contests of different kinds, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to try a photography one, which is, it's something that's maybe easier to do than visual art, but harder to do really well. So
yeah, exactly. And you've got some incredible entries. Like, just, these are next level. So
yeah,
amazing. Love seeing it. This also from ZeroPod. This was the most recent ZeroPod that just dropped last week. I'd like to spend most of my government's time on proposals where I have a unique expertise or point of view. On episode 29 of Zero Rights Reserved podcast, we get into the nitty gritty with Will Papper, Nouner and co-founder of @Syndicate, all about things Ethereum, Farcaster, L2s and L3s, Degen, and of course, Nouns. Mint a watchable copy on the video pod for free on base using the frame directly below in this short clip. First 50 mints are boosted and free. So if you haven't minted yet, I think the boost might be over, but you can go give it a shot and go give it a watch, because it's really a great chat with Will.
I had a great co-host for that one too.
You did. She's pretty good. She's not bad. That would be me.
It was Adrian. No,
it was Adrian.
I have to get Adrian to come host with me sometime. Just complete the circuit.
Yeah, I think that's actually a great idea. That is a great idea. And also this week, in addition to that ZeroPod dropping, it was also 1 year anniversary of ZeroPod. And I'm going to show this video right at the very end here. I have it ready to go and queued up. But it was, it's really fun little video that you can go mint. The mint link will be in our show notes. And it's all the guests saying, thanks for having me, essentially. And it was amazing to watch this, because I was a co-host for a lot of these over the past year, including the very first ZeroPod. And so it was fun to kind of remember and look back at that. But it's really a cute little mint. So congratulations on 1 year of ZeroPod. That's amazing.
Yeah, and I totally didn't mean to spend like 12 hours hyperfixating on that edit the other day, but I just had the idea and I got sucked in by my ADHD. But
that whole day,
how it came out though.
We're like sending messages to Toady. Didn't hear from him all day. It's like,
I went in my hole, but I'm happy with how it came out, and people are enjoying it. So.
And later today I heard him. Hi, Taddy. Later today, we're going to be playing the Nounish board game on a I think it's going to be streaming with I Speak Nerds. So go check out I Speak Nerds. I forgot to pull the cast, but go check him out on Warpcast and the link, and come watch us play a board game. It'll be fun. So
we're also streaming here at 3 p.m.
Yes,
EST.
That's right.
Base Builders. We have been on Twitter for the past 6 months, and we're moving over to Unlonely to give it a try as a video show. So we'll see how it goes.
And I'm really excited that you are, because I was thinking that you should have done that a while back. It seems like a perfect fit for the audience that you're reaching. So yeah, go check this out today. This is at 3 p.m. Eastern, and then we'll be playing with tabletop board games at 6 p.m. Eastern, I think it is. So, or 5. I can't remember now. 5 p.m. Eastern. Keeps getting changed. So we'll see you then. And thank you, Toady, for co-hosting with me today. Greatly appreciate it. And we're going to go out with the Zero Pod thanks and our closing credits. And we will see you here Friday. I have a special co-host, special guest time. We're going to be on at 11:30 a.m. Eastern with I Speak Nerd in the co-host seat. And at 8:30 Eastern, whoops, wrong way, right there. We're going to be doing a watch party of Brian Morris's Here for the Art interview with me. And then we'll be dropping that pod that day. If you haven't checked out this amazing piece right here, you should go mint it. It is available through the end of the month. Incredible piece, which I did drop a few to Yellow Collective to do with what they wish. One for the vaults and a couple to give away. And because of the support for all the artists that they do. So with that, we're going to call it, and we will see you we'll see you Friday. And with that, thanks for having me.
At this point, I think we've been talking about it for a while, and I've been a huge fan of the Noun Square and the Zero Pod and all the work that y'all have done, and so I'm really honored to be here.
Thanks, Toby. Awesome to be here. Super hyped to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for being one of the pioneering creators on Zora.
I'm excited to jam. Thanks for having me.
Excited to be here. Big fan.
Thanks for having us.
Excited to be here.
That was super fun.
Really cool to be here.
Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Pleasure to be here.
Thanks for having me. And I'm super stoked to be here.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Been a long time Nouner and excited to be here.
Pleasure hanging out with y'all.
Thank you so much for having me. Super excited to be here today, guys.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for having me, gents. I appreciate it.
So thank you so much for sitting down and talking with us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on, guys. I'm glad we can make this happen.
Yeah, thank you. This is awesome.